Hi, my name is Jenny Miner. My project is called the Attendance Initiative, and it is sponsored by the North Kansas City High School Attendance Committee. North Kansas City High School has always struggled with attendance due to several issues with our population. Prior to 2013, in order to receive accreditation points for attendance, our school needed to have an overall attendance percentage of 95%, which meant that students with really good attendance could balance out students with poor attendance. Well, under NCEP 5 in 2013, our accreditation standards have changed. Now 90% of our students need to have 90% attendance or better. So prior to 2013, we would have incentives for students in order to encourage them to work on having good or even perfect attendance. We would throw parties, we would have drawings, and give away donations from the community. Well, now in 2013, we have put in place a tiered intervention in order to prevent poor attendance issues from happening. The first tier is the advisory teacher. Each student is assigned an advisory teacher and meets with their advisory class twice a week. The job of the advisory teacher is to check students' attendance and grades. Also, the attendance administrative assistants keep track of attendance on a weekly basis, and they compare the students' attendance percentage for each week to their overall attendance for the semester. If their attendance is improving, they will show a positive trend line, and if their attendance is decreasing, they will show a negative trend line. Students with a negative trend in attendance are then referred to the attendance committee, which consists of all 5 principals. Each one is assigned a grade, except there are 2 principals assigned to the seniors who traditionally have the lowest attendance rate. We also have 2 interning administrators on staff who assist in working with grade level students, and those people are represented by the picture on the left. We have 2 attendance administrative assistants whose job is to keep track of attendance and then also call students when they do not show up to school and see if there's a way that we can get them to school. The students also have their needs met by the student assistance team, which works on matching students with particular interventions that they might need. And this committee is made up of all of the counseling staff, counseling support staff, our school psychologist, our community resource coordinator, who acts as a social worker for the school, and then also the head of alternative education, who oversees our 3 alternative programs that we have within our high school. And that group of people is represented by the picture on the right. The purpose of the attendance committee was to create interventions for students who are having a poor attendance rate. This committee also provides education for staff and students on attendance issues. So things like our attendance policy, and then also they act as a liaison. When students are having attendance issues, the attendance committee members can be a go-between between the students and the staff and try to help increase that attendance rate. But the overall purpose of the committee was to create a culture of attendance at North Kansas City High School. And the hope is that this culture of attendance will trickle into other aspects of school life. So students with good attendance will hopefully have better grades, and students with better grades will feel more successful in school. And students who are more successful in school will hopefully be more likely to graduate. Students who are more likely to graduate are more likely to choose college and career or have college and career choices that will benefit them in the future. This project began with a needs assessment of the committee. There was a big meeting, and the committee decided that what they needed were visual aids. They wanted bulletin boards and handouts, things that they could actually look at with students to discuss attendance issues. And that is where the goal of my project was created, to make these visuals for the attendance committee that are enhancing this culture of attendance in the school. So my project outline, my project stakeholders are the attendance committee and then also the students and staff that they serve. The head of the attendance committee is Administrator Chad Ryerson, who then became the advisor for my project. And the materials for this project were provided out of the school supply closet, so no actual budget for this project was needed. The timeline for my project started with a meeting with the attendance committee to figure out their needs. A meeting between myself and Mr. Ryerson then occurred to discuss what those needs were, what the deadlines for meeting those needs would be, and brainstorming on ways to meet those needs. I then designed and provided rough drafts for bulletin boards and visuals to Mr. Ryerson, who reviewed them, and we met to discuss those changes that needed to be made. And those bulletin boards and visuals will be in effect in January 2014. The first bulletin board that was created will be hung outside of the auditorium, where all of the senior announcements and senior news are displayed. And this bulletin board correlates graduation attendance and graduation rate. This bulletin board was meant to be lighthearted. It discusses reasons to miss school and reasons not to miss school, and what students should do if they do happen to miss school. It will be hung outside of the main cafeteria in the main building, and then also outside of the foods room in the Norclay building. These are the two places where students eat lunch during the winter, and they tend to gather there. This Hornet attendance bulletin board is going to be placed outside of the Norclay office and outside of the locker rooms. Both of these places are down main corridors of the school, where students will see them when they are walking either back from lunch or back to class. The percentage of students who are meeting the 90% or better attendance rate will be written in the purple box, and a portion of the Hornet correlating with that attendance percentage will be displayed. So for example, as of December 6th, we have 83% of our students meeting the 90% attendance goal. So 83 would be in the purple box, and 83% of the Hornet would be displayed. As part of the second bulletin board, a handout was created, and this handout gives members of the attendance committee the ability to talk with students. Why are they having difficulty coming to school? How can these problems be fixed? And then it gives the students a place to script out ways to talk to their teachers and pick 2 goals to try to improve their attendance with. So the My Attendance Goals handout is being reviewed for use by the attendance committee members, and the bulletin boards will be created and placed in key locations around the school by some members of the attendance committee, but particularly by members of my senior advisory class who are in need of community service hours as part of their honors program. Thank you very much for listening to my project, and I hope that you enjoyed it.